with you that there are a great many career officials at the Department of Justice who are principled, who have a fidelity to law, and who are eager to have a job mandate that is simply fairly enforcing the law across the board. You and I have discussed, and I have observed publicly, that it is deeply concerning to me and to a great many people that over the last 8 years, the leadership of the Department of Justice, I think, has been very politicized. It's perhaps is not surprising that Democratic senators assume that same politicization will continue. But for 8 years, we've seen political attorneys general, we've seen Eric Holder allowing illegal gun transactions with Mexican drug traffickers as part of Fast and Furious, which resulted in an illegal gun knowingly sold to traffickers being used to murder Border Patrol agent Brian Terry. We saw the Attorney General of the United States, Eric Holder, held in contempt of Congress when he refused to cooperate with Congress's investigation into Fast and Furious. We saw the IRS illegally targeting American citizens for exercising their First Amendment rights because they were perceived to be political opponents of the president. And we saw the Department of Justice assign the investigation of that case to a partisan Democrat who was a major Democratic donor, giving over $6,000 to President Obama and the Democrats. When all of this was occurring, none of the Democratic senators had any concern at all. Today they want a special prosecutor, but when a partisan Democrat was leading the IRS investigation, they saw no need whatsoever for a special prosecutor. We saw the Department of Justice with Operation Choke Point punish without due process law-abiding citizens that didn't align with the president's political leanings. We saw the Department of Justice continue to allow millions of dollars of taxpayer funds to flow to sanctuary cities that were openly defying federal immigration law and releasing violent criminal illegal aliens who were committing horrible crimes. We saw the administration refuse to enforce the laws on the books, and we saw the Department of Justice sign off on a decision to pay a nearly $2 billion ransom to the nation of Iran that flew in the middle of the night on unmarked pallets landing in an airport. That pattern of politicized administration of justice has been dismaying to veterans of the Department of Justice because for decades, DOJ has had a tradition of being non-political, non-partisan, fairly and faithfully applying the law. And that has been true under Republican and Democrat presidents until the last 8 years. The question I would ask of each of you is, will you commit to this committee not to be a political Department of Justice in the same mold but on the Republican side? That is most assuredly not your job. But rather, will you commit to faithfully and fairly uphold the law without regard to politics?
Senator, I will certainly commit to faithfully and fairly uphold the law without regard to politics.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.